you're right that this is the first time that, as a professional, I visited this exhibition, and therefore my perspective was totally different than from the earlier times. I personally believe this exhibition is extremely interesting, and particular themes I could very clearly see. So some of them I can mention. One is very clearly it's towards green technology, conservation of energy, conservation of water, chemicals. It's also more towards digitization. People are more and more, I think, using AI, automation, and robotics in their machinery. So the future trend is quite clear where the industry is growing. And from the Indians' perspective, I'm very happy that there's a big participation of 170 participants in this exhibition. Overall, if I look back on the 7 days, I think this exhibition has been a great success. I think I can say with certainty that this time the quality of participants from India are very good. Not only that, but the technology which they have exhibited has really gathered a lot of interest among and excitement amongst the overseas visitor. I visited some of the Indian stalls and I found that a lot of overseas visitors actually visited their stalls, showed their inquiries, and Indian manufacturers are quite upbeat that they can, they will get quite a good share of the world market also now. They appear to be much more confident. Second observation which I have is that the technology gap between the European machines and the Indian machines have certainly been breached, and this has actually attracted a lot of overseas. I have seen particularly the companies which I advise, some of them like Rabatex Industries and Yamuna Machine Works. I have very clearly seen buyers from Turkey, buyers from Russia, Africa, USA, Europe coming there, and I think they are really finding India as a promising country as far as the textile machinery is concerned, because last ITMA, if you see, it was dominated by the Chinese manufacturers. But I see a total change this time. The Chinese are very less in numbers. Europe is finding it extremely difficult, to make cost-effective machines because energy costs have gone up. It's becoming very tough for them. In that context, I think Indian machinery makers have a very bright future, in my opinion, because the technological gap is breached. We are still economical, and I personally believe for the Indian textile machinery industry, this will be the best period coming in now for the few years now. I personally believe that PLI had created a great interest and excitement in the beginning. That's how more than 64 companies came forward. But if you see the progress on the ground level, it's very disappointing. Very few, I heard hardly 10 are going ahead with it. And the reasons are not far to seek because the investment criteria was very high. But I personally believe when I discuss with the customers that they are keenly awaiting the PLI 2.0, where the threshold limit is only 15 crores. And see, overall, the Indian textile industry is not doing well right now. Especially spinning is highly underutilized. In this context, really speaking, the Indian visitors are not in a real mood to purchase machines. But I am amazed that in many of the stalls, people have finalized the orders, including spinning. And this is very interesting, which means that people are maybe short term, they are worried, but not on a long term. Now, the people who are dependent on exports, they are, I think, affected badly because the US market is not doing well, European market is not doing well, and the exporters are therefore, I think, affected badly. But our domestic market is doing greatly. It's very robust, and those who are in the domestic market have orders full. I talk with many people, they have absolute orders full, they are not able to supply. So in this situation, I think once the exports pick up, especially the home textile industry, which is underutilized, I think will bounce back very strongly. And I think everybody is looking at India now as a next destination for textile, as well as textile machinery. So I personally believe that this exhibition will create a platform for the Indian industry, both textile and textile machinery, to take off from here on. Now the volatility in cotton prices also is under control now. So hopefully, I think the coming time, the industry will turn around. My role is basically now to advise the Indian textile machinery companies to come to a level where they can compete with Europeans. I am also an independent director on some of the companies where I contribute in a different capacity, and I am helping some startups also mentor them. Now coming back to the German part, I am India advisor for ITA, which is Institute Textile Technique Aachen, which is under RWTH Aachen University, and they are doing phenomenal work on research. There are three areas they work on. One is digitization, second is sustainability, and third is very basic contract research on fibers and yarn. They are working a lot on bio-based fibers, different structures of yarn. So it's a very interesting experience for me. It's a learning experience for me. And ITA is very highly regarded institute for research. They also have a recycling center. And this exhibition I have seen recycling is one of the major themes. Many Indian companies are inquiring about, what are the possibilities to recycle, to use recycled fibers, because it's going to become mandatory to mix certain percentage of recycled fibers if you want to export to EU. From that perspective, ITA's role is very, very interesting. ITA also helps the textile machinery companies in research, basic research to develop machine functions. Overall, it's a very, very fulfilling experience for me to work with such a highly regarded research institute. They also have in the group a company called APS GmbH, which works on robotics training, and we have recently completed one assignment of training 100 students in one of the leading colleges, DKT Engineering College in Ichalkaranji, and they are totally focusing on robotics and automation. So these are the areas of future. If you see digitization, if you see sustainability, ITA helps customers to, if they are taking any sustainability initiatives, what are the requirements, if one has to be certified in terms of sustainability. So it's very exciting experience, and ITA is also doing a lot of research work jointly with IIT Madras on fiber reinforced concrete. Plus, they are doing joint research with IIT Delhi on carbon, for hydrogen storage, the carbon composite tanks. So it's very exciting, and I think I feel myself very, very, very fortunate to get associated after my active career with a research institution.